Welcome to Amon G. Carter Stadium in Fort Worth, home to the TCU Horned Frogs. As we'll see a squad from the ACC, the North Texas Mean Green, taking on a participant from the playoff last year, the TCU Horned Frogs. For EA Sports College Football, I'm Reese Davis, joined here in the booth by David Pollack and Jesse Palmer. And guys, let's get this thing started. North Texas will kick it off to get this game underway. On the run from inside his own 5. Couldn't find a way to create that broken field as he stopped at the 25. So TCU's offense will get the first crack at it here. And last week, you want to talk about a guy using every tool in the bag from the running back position. David, this guy did it.
He was a monster, man. I think when you turned on the tape this week, you saw it, man. So many different ways he could hurt you, and he could be a focal point of this offense. The defense, they know well and good of what happened last week. And their first objective this week, Palmer, is to stop that dude.
Yeah, they know the entire offense goes through him. All week long, they've been stressing. Tackling, staying in your gaps, waiting at the point of attack, getting as many hats to the football as humanly possible because you can't shut this guy down. You can only hope to contain him, but what a challenge this defense faces today.
Quarterback may change this route. Try to get it to the edge. He's knocked down for a loss of 7. Well, the head coach told us in pregame he liked the way his defensive speed matched up, and it's really hard to get the edge against these guys.
Yeah, and everybody wants to run outside and get their fast guys in space, but you look at how fast these backers close and run to the football, it looks like you've got a little bit of space out wide, and then, boom, it's gone in a hurry.
And the pass is incomplete, jarred loose by the hit.
This defensive coaching staff, they love their secondary, and they love the matchups they have. They believe they've got 5 guys at least back there that can cover one-on-one. You saw a great example of it there on 3rd down, forcing the incompletion.
On 3rd and long, no secret what he needs here. Picked off, and the opening drive is stopped with an interception. And he's wrapped up after a solid return on the pick.
Well, the defense came into this game, guys, knowing that they were going to be tested with the offense throwing it vertically down the field. And you saw it right there on the opening drive. They were ready for it. Great job locating the ball and getting the INT.
North Texas sends the offense back onto the field. They'll ride the running back and leave it with him. That is a big win for this defense as they were right there as soon as he got the ball.
Well, the defense didn't have a lot of time to celebrate that last big play because here's the offense right.
And the defense picks up a sack, getting the quarterback down at the 44.
And this offense comes up 1st down, tries to run the football, no answer. 2nd down, they go for the pass, they give up the sack. This defense on point early in the football game with 2 great plays.
Now a lot of work to do to move the chains, keep this drive alive after that earlier sack. And the incomplete pass will bring up 4th down.
Well, this is a disappointing drive for the offense considering where this drive started in their opponent territory. Now you're 4th and long. You've got to be better throwing the football in those types of situations.
They're able to put a stop to that return right at the 30-yard line. TCU has it back in the Horned Frogs go on offense. They turned it over with an interception on their first drive of the game, but we're still looking for our initial points of the game. Offense in the sumo set with the big boys. The give to the back. They'll mark him down at the 40 after ripping off 10.
Well, the defense is on their heels right now. They're going to have to find a way to stop this guy. When he's got a head of steam, boy, he is hard to bring down.
Now from the 40, it's 1st and 10. Might be changing the route. Off play action on first down. Fires to the tight end. He gets it up to midfield, forced out of bounds at the 50.
Well, it's a nice job, too, of the quarterback after the play fake there, getting his eyes down the field. He had to get that to his tight end quickly, knowing he wasn't going to have a lot of space to run with after the catch.
Wants to fire on second down. Got it set up on the outside. There he goes. Makes that one pay off, and they finally get him down at the 38. It'll be first down. That is a time-honored way to slow down the rush, hit him with the screen, and a chunk play.
Yeah, such a great job because you're flying up the field to get to the quarterback because everything looks like pass down the field. Let those guys get up the field, throw it right behind him. He does a little bit of the rest, making some moves, getting upfield, making the big play.
I like offenses being creative. I'm not sure if that was the best place to call that play. I think this offense needs to think about just doing things a little bit more by the book. They've got a lot of good playmakers. You don't have to reinvent the wheel this early in the game.
And the Horned Frogs now with a long way to go to pick up the first down. Finds the tight end. And that corner came in hot despite knowing that he was giving up some size.
And nice job by the defense staying glued to him. Getting him on the ground as soon as he catches the football. Knowing he's a threat. I'm not going to let this guy get out of my sights. Nice job by the D.
Wants to throw again. Throws for the tight end. Finds a man in the middle. He's got enough for the first down. They'll spot him at the 24-yard line. The Horned Frogs come to the line with a fresh set of downs. Handoff from the gun. And the big defensive front wins the battle. No gain on that play.
Defense is about seeing it and pulling the trigger, and you could tell they pull the trigger so fast, get to the back, get him on the ground quickly.
They got nothing on the last play. It's 2nd and 10. Wide receiver going in motion. Fires to the big fella. Touchdown, Horned Frogs! Nice catch and good work afterwards to get it into the end zone.
Man, this guy is an elite tight end. This guy is a dude. He keeps making plays like this. We're going to start comparing him to Brock Bowers and Kyle Pitts. The run after the catch, the big body, the athletic ability. He has it all.
Setting up for the extra point after the first score of the game. And with the extra point, they get the first 7 of the game. And for a quick update, let's go to Kevin Connors in the studio.
Big Ten action today. A couple of teams who have had this game circled on the calendar for some time. Indiana is going to get out of Dodge with a win. It's a shave that might have been a little closer than Hoosiers fans wanted, but a road victory feels great no matter what the final score is. Iron sharpens iron, and you just know a Big Ten matchup like this is going to go a long way in telling the story of each of these teams' seasons.
Kevin, thanks a lot for that one. Sounds as if they had a good one there. This drive will open from the 15. The give to the back. And there was nowhere to go, just stopped in his tracks in the backfield. After getting knocked back to open this drive, it's 2nd and 12. The run from the shotgun. Not a lot of room there. Give him a couple to the 16.
Man, it's really hard to control the running game if you don't control the line of scrimmage. And how about the defensive line doing a great job attacking those guys up front, not open up lanes to run through. Nice job just nullifying that run altogether.
Takes a shot as he lets it go. Makes the catch on the left. Breaks into the open. And that one looked as if it might go all the way, but they picked up more than 40 yards before the touchdown saving tackle.
You know, there's a lot of communication when it comes to defenses. Like, you have to talk, have to understand if somebody does this, I have to do this. I have to pass off wide receivers. Apparently, the communication was busted.
Time winding down in the quarter as they come to the line. To the air, it's Cherry. It's complete to the right. Not much running room there thanks to this senior defender. Man down on the play as the officials take a break to let him be checked out. One final play before the end of the quarter. On third down, he'll try to pick it up through the air. Got his man quickly. He stopped well short of the line to gain at the 22. Not a chip shot field goal, but certainly makeable. We'll see what they do on fourth down. They're in field goal range here on fourth down, but they're going to keep this offense on the field. Incomplete, and that'll be a turnover on downs.
And the offense stays aggressive. They try to throw the football and just weren't on the same page. It was an incompletion. He could have done a better job, I think, throwing the ball to his receiver and maybe making it where it's more of a 50-50 ball where he can make a play. Defense gets the big stop.
There was just nowhere to cut back. Great job by the defense, and he'll have to take the loss. Lost one on that last one. It's 2nd and 11. Might be calling a hot route. Looking to fire. Quick strike complete. Hauled down, but they'll move the sticks as he picks up the first down.
That wide receiver on the outside is dangerous. When you're playing zone coverage, it's really hard because you're not chasing him. You can't really get hands on him. You got to make sure you send more guys his direction. Maybe slide those linebackers toward that wide receiver so you got a little more help on the outside.
And that incomplete pass caused by the big hit on first down. 2nd down coming.
Tell you what, that was a lightning fast decision. You could tell he knew what he wanted to do right away, makes the decision, but maybe his footwork wasn't a little bit good and the pass wasn't where he wanted to put that thing. I know that.
They'll throw again after the incompletion. Quickly complete. He'll be stopped and forced out of bounds. Mark it on the 47-yard line, and this offense is going to work.
It is so good for an offense early in the game to get in a rhythm and to start stringing first downs together. It makes the game really easy and puts that defense in a situation where they're starting to get tired. They want to sub. They want to get other guys in the field. Stringing first downs together like this makes it hard to defend.
Got a little space. Turning it on. They mark him out of bounds at the 42, and they're on the move.
First down, you know you always want to establish the running game. How about this offense? Nothing fancy. Run the football, be physical, get a big gain.
They'll move the wide receiver. They'll ride the hot hand. Not this time. After finding running room on the previous play, nowhere to go this time around as the defense rises up.
They're trying to run the football. There's just nowhere to go for the ball carrier inside. He tried to bounce it to the outside. That linebacker way too fast. He met him there and forced the TFL.
Trying to set up the screen. Crosses the 30. He's got to lay it. Touchdown, TCU! Made the grab and then did the rest himself, and they put points on the board. Look, it's still early, but we have some real distance being put on the scoreboard right now.
You do. It's early, but you got to find something positive. Right now, everything going in the other direction. So how are you going to respond when you've been hitting the mouth early in this football game? Got to find something positive quick.
Lining up to add another. And the extra point makes it 14-0. They march 79 yards on the drive. And the finisher coming courtesy of that touchdown toss from 45 yards out. He'll start the return inside his 5. Didn't find any crease in that kickoff coverage, and he'll be stopped at the 17. North Texas takes possession. The Mean Green offense will return to the field. This is when the pressure can ramp up a little bit on an offense, David, when they start feeling the heat to answer a score.
And I think being down 14, you can kind of feel that way. But, dude, if you put a good drive together, this is a 7-point game, so Palmer, no need to panic.
I was just going to say, David, I mean, this thing can flip quick. You go down, score, all of a sudden your defense gets a stop, or who knows, better yet, gets a turnover. This game is entirely different.
Finally, this offense starting to shake the cobwebs and get things moving. It's 1st and 10. Rides the back on the option, the give. And this one will be stopped for no gain. North Texas in the hurry up.
And this offense gets nothing done on that play, but look at them. They're continuing to run this tempo. They want to try to do something to get a spark going to create a big play.
Let's see what they find in the playbook for 3rd and long from the 43. To the air, it's Cherry. And they can't make the play on 3rd down.
It's so nice when you know it's 3rd and long, you know a pass is coming, you worked on it all week, get your feet set at the sticks, understand that quarterback's got to be rushed, get him off of his spot. Nice execution by this defense.
And the punt team able to smack him to the ground. TCU will send its offense back onto the field. They've had a really productive first half so far, and they'll try to add to it here. Looking for a crease, it's Pierre. Shakes off the defender. Crosses the 30 to the 31, a 6-yard gain.
You love to see this on offense. Early in drives, getting that kind of yardage keeps you ahead of the chains.
And the Horned Frogs in a good spot here with 2nd and short. He might want another play. Now the play fake. He's got him. Dragged down, but they'll move the sticks for a 1st down.
You got to give the O-line a lot of credit there because it gave the receiver time to work all the way across the field on the drag route against zone coverage. Quarterback gets it to him. He's able to turn it up and get a 1st down.
Running back searching for a hole. Oh, he's got some space. Big pickup on the ground here to keep this drive moving and give them a 1st down. Down to 2 minutes before the half, and they'll take the timeout and see if they can add a little more before the break. The Horned Frogs will snap it on 1st and 10. Wants to go up top on 1st down. And the incomplete pass was just too hot to handle.
In the last couple of weeks, man, you're getting a lot of consistency from this QB. And you got to love it as a play caller, man. You can drop him back. You can throw the ball a ton. You can trust him, getting the ball to different wide receivers. He's really in a good groove the last couple games.
Finds his tight end. And that had all the makings of bug meat windshield, but how about the little corner taking on the big tight end and keeping him from getting the 1st?
Man, and tight ends in today's modern college football are so difficult to stop because they're so much more athletic than they used to be. Today, they're just like big wide receivers. So defensively, how do you stop it? Do you have someone who has the physical dimensions to match up with this guy one-on-one? You might not, and if you don't, are you comfortable putting a slower linebacker on him, or do you want to put a smaller DB that might not be able to tackle him? It's a real difficult puzzle to figure out.
And the Horned Frogs kept this drive moving on the ground. Now back to work. Touch pass on the jet sweep. And the defense holds firm. No pickup at all on that play.
And that's just an example of the defense having a better play call than you have on offense. I like the creativity offensively, but how about the defense having their cornerback in position to make the play?
Get it out on the screen. A 6-yard pickup that leaves them with 3rd and 4.
Yeah, and you're going to see this offense find different ways to get this running back involved. It's not just going to be on handoffs, and they're certainly going to line him up in different places and even throw him the football. But the screen game's a big part of it, too. They're trying to get him going there.
Got it in the middle. It's Upshaw. He's got enough. It'll be a first down. They've got it at the 12.
Really nice job there by the quarterback, understanding that it's zone coverage on third down. You're going to have to find someone working into a soft spot, get the ball out of your hands quickly, make an accurate throw, and pick up the first. Well done.
On the run, it's Pierre. They'll knock him down for a loss of a couple. Quick timeout call by the offense after the play.
Well, there's a statement by the defensive line. First down play, expecting run, and they just dominated up front. Beat their one-on-ones and forced a tackle for a loss.
Got some work to do after that last play, 2nd and 13. The play action fake. He's got it on the move. And he motors into the end zone. Touchdown, Horned Frogs! The mantra is always finish, and they're trying to do that here in the regular season with this Week 12 performance.
This guy is officially a problem. His 2nd receiving touchdown of the game. Nice job by the offense, dude. If I've got a matchup I like, continue to pick at it until they stop him.
And he did get that extra point through the slippery surface, no problem. 76 yards on the drive for the touchdown. Kickoff unit back to work, and they have been busy as they've built this sizable lead. Here he comes from inside his own 5. And they'll haul down the returner to start us on the next drive. North Texas sends the offense back onto the field. Now they're backed up here, Jesse. Wonder how aggressive they're willing to be.
I think it's going to come down to how much confidence they have in this quarterback and his decision-making, because you cannot throw an interception at this part of the field with this little time left.
And I think that's conversations you've had with the young fellow on the sidelines. Be like, what are you comfortable with right here that we can run? Maybe stay aggressive, but make sure I don't make that mistake.
We've played 2 quarters here. Time to go to Kevin Connors in our halftime update.
Fellas, you've been calling a first-rate game so far today in Fort Worth.
The Horned Frogs will kick it away to crank up the second half. And he takes this from inside the 5. Didn't find any crease in that kickoff coverage, and he'll be stopped at the 17. North Texas takes possession. The Mean Green offense will return to the field. They come into this 3rd quarter with a lot of work they need to get done.
Yeah, and it starts with this possession. And I'm going piece by piece. I know this is coach speak and very simple. I score. I get a stop. I score. I can get back in this game, but it's got to be one drive at a time.
It's going to have to be, but I think the mindset offensively is we're probably going to have to score every time we get it, because our defense has been struggling. They have not been getting a lot of stops, so this is a critical drive here for this offense.
And it'll be incomplete. This is some physical pass defense.
This is a top 25 defense, guys. One of the best units in the entire country. They're so good situationally, and they understand the importance of getting leads early, making the offense predictable, having to throw in these types of situations so they can adjust accordingly. And that's what they're doing right now. Their coverage is being dictated by the scoreboard. They're going to make it really, really hard on this quarterback here in the second half to throw any completions.
North Texas will have to punt it away. Excellent coverage that time. Didn't give him any room to set up a big return. TCU has it back, and the Horned Frogs go on offense. This has been exactly the way you draw things up, David. The offense has really been moving the football.
And it's been great execution. They've done exactly what they've wanted to do. Build the lead. Now Palmer's a different animal. Now you got to protect him.
You can tell they were paying attention in practice this week in the film room, because they have gone out, everybody right now on the same page.
Got stuffed on first down. It's 2nd and 10. Wants to go up top. Got his man downfield. Gets him down at the 30 after a 15-yard pickup. They are threatening, and they have a first down. Here's this offense with a fresh set of downs. Looking for space. It's Pierre. They'll pick up 4, 2nd and 6 coming.
You know, as a defense, you kind of want to force the give on the RPO. You want them to run the football, and you could tell maybe the quarterback wishes he pulled this. Small gain, but some information you gathered maybe for the next time you get to run an RPO.
After the productive first down play, it's 2nd and 6. They'll run play action. Gets it out quickly. Headed to the end zone. And he'll be forced out of bounds, but not before yet another big play in this passing attack.
Well, I know the tight end did some good things after the catch, but got to give the quarterback credit, too, for the location of the throw. Because he put it out in front of his big man, he was able to make the catch and accelerate, creating some distance there between him and the defense.
And the Horned Frogs are rolling down the field. Motion from the wide receiver. It falls incomplete. He was trying to find his man for 6.
Sometimes as a quarterback, when you're feeling a rhythm and you're feeling yourself, you just want to keep taking shots, right? This guy's already thrown 3 touchdown passes. He saw a look he liked, decided to let her fly. Haven't seen a lot of balls falling complete, especially deep down the field. That one did, but I'd expect this guy to keep letting it go.
Touchdown, TCU! And they add 6 more to the board with that trip to the house. Precision blocking up front created the open lane, and the running back followed it beautifully.
Yeah, it's pretty easy to follow an offensive line that makes those holes and just gives you a caravan all the way to the end zone. What an unbelievable job blocking up front.
Lining up to tack one more onto that lead. And the extra point makes it 28-0. And let's check in with Kevin Connors in the studio. Kevin?
We've been talking about this Big 12 showdown all week, guys. Let's show you how things played out. USC put together a breathtaking performance inside the Coliseum. And how do you not liken it to the way Leinart and Bush and Lendale White and Dwayne Jarrett used to just annihilate teams? This game may or may not impact the college football playoff, fellas, but it's bound to shake things up in the Big 12 standings.
Yeah, how about that? Sounds as if they had a good ball game there, Kevin. Thanks for the update.
And that run really didn't go anywhere. A lot of times we don't focus on it enough, but how important those 5 guys are up front. To get on those defensive linemen, to try to move them out of the way, to get a run game going, it squarely falls on the shoulder of those 5 offensive linemen.
Works his way ahead for 3. They'll spot it at the 18. Let's see what they have in the bag on 3rd and short from their own 18. Back to pass, it's Cherry. Fires to the right. It's complete. At the 40, there he goes. He's out of bounds at the 40-yard line, and you want to talk about flipping the field. He just did it. Looks as if we have an injury on that last play, and we'll take a break to check him out. North Texas has it going to work with another first down. Looking to throw on first down. He's going to let it go. Hits him in stride inside the 10. He's there to make the stop, but not before he sets up this offense 1st and goal from the 7.
Well, this offense has shown you it doesn't take a lot of time for them to generate explosive plays through the air. Big completion on the previous play. They take another shot and hit it, and they have completely flipped the field.
With the run on 1st and goal. And he never had a chance. Just stopped cold as soon as he got it.
I gotta be honest, I am shocked at just how well the defense has played in this game, especially stopping the run. We talked about statistically how they've struggled this season, but they have put the clamps down in this one, and they're just playing with a ton of intensity.
Defense rose up deep in its own end on that last play. Now a second. He's going for the goal line. And he'll finish the run in the end zone. Touchdown, North Texas. Number 32. Sometimes we ask coaches about halftime adjustments, and they go blah, 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 blah. And then sometimes they make some good ones.
Sometimes that blah, 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 blah actually works, but it's working now. But it might be too little too late, but at least you got the party started.
The extra point is good, but they're still down 28-7. So that scoring drive took only 6 plays. And it was capped off with the 8-yard run. North Texas, 7. On the move from inside his 5. Nice job executing all of the assignments as they put a stop to that return at the 22. TCU will send its offense back onto the field. They still have the lead, but a productive drive here would keep it a comfortable lead. Quarterback making checks. Off the play fake on first down. Just a short pass to the tight end. They stay aggressive and push their way out to the 33, and it's first down. Passing game kept this drive moving. Let's see if they try it again. Off the play fake. Gets rid of it. All kinds of room to throw that one in there. Good pickup there as he gets the first down, and they'll mark him at the 48.
And that's why play action is going to be big in this game. You saw how it just frees the second level of that defense just for a second and allowed the tight end to work himself vertically down the field. But how about this guy after the catch, right? So hard to bring down. What a weapon.
Creates a little room. Makes that one pay off, and they finally get him down at the 38. It'll be first down. Last completion moved the sticks in. Let's see if they try it again. Wants to throw on first down. Got it in the middle. It's Upshaw. They stop him almost immediately. Short gain there, and still a little ground to cover to pick up the first.
A nice job by the QB there, timing out that drag throw. It's zone coverage, so he's got to make sure he gets it to his receiver in a window to allow him to catch the ball and then turn it upfield.
They'll go to work in the air on second down. They've got the screen set up. Finds a crease at the 20. He's out of bounds on what will be the final play of the third quarter. We've reached the break, and TCU is holding the lead. Let's take a quick look at the national rankings to see how this playoff race is shaping up. Final stands of the game, and we'll start with the first down. Motion from the wideout. Quick pass on the jet motion. He is going nowhere. Stop at the line of scrimmage.
Really nice job by the cornerback. Hey, a lot of cornerbacks want to cover. They want to drop back. They're not really about that life. They don't want to be the tackling kind of guy. They're like, leave that to the linebackers. That dude committed, came up, made a nice tackle.
Working well behind the sticks on second down. Quarterback making adjustments. Watch out, come over. Trying to beat him to the left. He's stopped for no gain again. Back-to-back runs, and they have nothing to show for it except facing a third and long.
Awesome job up front by this defensive line, being so good at the point of attack and eating blocks, eating some double teams that allows these linebackers to run free, unencumbered, and get to the football.
Lets it fly. Finds space on the right. They make the stop at the 2, but he's got enough to give them a first and goal.
Defense just hasn't had an answer for this guy. He has been on point. This is about as good as I've seen him play at the quarterback position. And here in the fourth quarter with a big lead, he's still taking shots.
Trying to bull his way in. Touchdown, Horned Frogs! And they take it in for 6 more points. They extend this lead, and it looks as if they are going to make it 2 wins in a row.
It's another good decision by the quarterback. You've got to be impressed here. On that one, he finds his tight end, but all game long, whether it's receivers or running backs or tight ends, wherever the best one-on-one matchup has been, he's been able to take advantage of it, and that's why they've been able to score so many points.
And the extra point sails through, and they have a 35-7 lead. Kickoff unit getting some extra work as this lead has really grown. He'll bring it back from inside his 5. And good work by the coverage team to get the return man down on the ground. North Texas sends the offense back onto the field. They cashed in on a short field last time they had it, and now they'll go to work from their own end. To throw, it's Cherry. Dances away. Open space at the 25. He turns this into a nice gain and gets down to avoid the hit. With a first down, they'll snap it from the 32. Looking downfield on first down. Under fire. Here comes the rush, and they've got him wrapped up at the 28. Man down on the play as the officials take a break to let him be checked out. North Texas now has a ton of work to do here on second down. Back to pass. Bringing the heat. And the pressure gets to him again. Another sack.
And how about this offense, man? It's been a rough day. You're getting beat down. You're trying to find some kind of momentum late in the game to build something off of, and you give up another sack.
Now 3rd and long, and trying to play catch-up in more ways than one after that earlier sack. Looking downfield, and he needs a bunch. Under heavy pressure, lets it fly. Intercepted. Trying to take it back. Good gain on the return, and this defense has set them up with a big play.
And as a defensive lineman late in the game, man, when you know it's past, you're pinning your ears back, trying to get to the quarterback, and DBs are trying to do this. Pad them stats, get the INT. Nice job by this D.
TCU has it back, and the Horned Frogs go on offense. This offense has really been clicking in the game so far, Jesse.
No doubt.
There he goes. Nice pickup on the ground there, and they'll move the sticks with the first down.
That is just demoralizing if you're on defense, right? You're down in the game. It's the fourth quarter. You know you need to get a stop, and you know they're going to run the ball, but you can't do anything about it.
The Horned Frogs line it up with a 1st and goal. Gets it out fast. And the catch and run into the end zone. Touchdown, TCU! They've now extended that lead, and they're trying to hang on for a Week 12 victory.
And honestly, it's been about complementary football in this game, right? We've seen this offense go up and down the field. They've been lighting up the scoreboard, but the defense has done a great job, too, getting off the field and putting their offense in really good position in this game. The head coach has got to love what he's seen on both sides of the ball today.
PAT unit on the field. And the extra point just tacks a little bit more onto this huge lead. Let's go to the studio now and check in with Kevin Connors. Kevin, what do you got?
Right, guys, got a final score on one of the more intriguing games this week. Tennessee left little doubt You know, this version of the Volunteers can hang with any of the teams of the past. And remember, this is a program that went 13-0 en route to a national title back in 1998. Regardless the outcome today, guys, these are still two quality programs. Proof the sport is as healthy as ever.
And Kevin Connors keeping an eye on everything all over the country. Sounds like they had a good one there. Back to throw, it's Cherry. Looking down the middle. Finds a man on the right. He'll get it up to about the 32-yard line before he's stopped, and it'll be first down.
The offense has struggled. They're not going to win this game, but trust me, this coaching staff is still trying to find things to build off of for next week. And after an explosive play like that, maybe they can generate just a little bit of momentum and gain a little bit of confidence that they can keep coaching up heading into their next game.
They'll snap this one from the 32. It's first down. To the air on first down. And the rush will get to him at the 25.
Man, I've been there before as a quarterback. Sometimes you just wish the game would already be over, right? You've had nothing go your way all game long. You're trailing late. They're still getting sacks. And you just want to go back to the locker room. You want to get in the ice tub and start healing for next week.
And the defense gets loose, bringing the heat, and down he goes again.
As a defensive lineman, let me tell you something. This is hunting season. This is when you pin your ears back and you absolutely fly to the quarterback, and you can see it. They know it's pass, and they get to him again.
The defense all revved up after that earlier sack, and they'll try to stop him right here. Now a lot of work to do to move the chains, keep this drive alive after that earlier sack. On third and long, you'll have to turn it loose deep. And that one's incomplete. They weren't just trying to move the chains. They were trying to move the scoreboard. Instead, it's fourth down. North Texas will have to punt it away. Well, what that punt lacked in height, it made up for by being short. And good work by the coverage team to knock down the return man. TCU will send its offense back onto the field. And now one of the most satisfying moments in football, just watching that clock drain away while you have control of the ball, Jesse.
And this is definitely one of the best play callers, right, for an offensive coordinator. Getting ready to go into victory formation. So many good things happen today. It seemed like
he hurls one deep down the left side. And it's knocked away downfield. The DB getting a hand in there.
And how about this offense? They're not worried about the clock. They're not worried about the score. They're not worried about early and down. Still trying to execute their offense. Still trying to make big plays. And they've had a great day so far.
Fires to the big fella. Across the 25. He's got room. Breaks into the open. And we have breaking news. They score yet another touchdown.
Points, and more points. This offense has had their way. They just keep their foot on the gas, keep putting up points, keep putting up touchdowns. And you know what? This is one of those stats days. You look back and you're like, that guy had 12 touchdowns on the year. Well, 4 or 5 of them might have been in this game.
He's into the end zone for the 2 and extends the lead.
On that two-point play, they went toss, trying to use his speed to the outside. Nice job blocking downfield for the conversion.
They're ready to kick it away, and this crowd is buzzing after that last score. On the run from inside his own 5. Nice job by the kickoff team. Everybody stayed in their lanes, and they'll stop him at the 16. North Texas takes possession. The Mean Green offense will return to the field. This has been a really disappointing performance, David, no question about that, but they can find some positives.
Yeah, and every time you watch the tape, you know, Jesse, coaches are pointing out, look at this. This was open if we just ran the details to the right route, hung on to the football. Little things can make a big difference.
Yeah, that's why they call it a game of inches, David. But I'll say this, if you're on offense, don't go on social media this week. It ain't going to be pretty after this performance. You've got to lock in. You got to take the week of practice very seriously and find those positives that you can build off, David, you're talking about.
They make the stop, trying to pick up just a little bit at a time to get to that first down marker. They'll need to convert this third down from their own 22 to get this drive jump-started. And that's incomplete. A defender all over him. Knocked the ball to the ground. Fourth down coming up. North Texas will have to punt it away.
Number 18, on to kick it away.
Wouldn't call it a shank, but I don't think he'll include it on his greatest hits. And the returner runs out of real estate as he goes down. TCU has it back, and the Horned Frogs go on offense. They're in command of this game. Now let's see if they try to rub a little salt in the wound or happy with getting the W.
Yeah, and listen, this makes the post-game handshake fun sometimes if you do choose to rub a little salt in it and keep chucking and keep scoring. I'm here for it, Jesse. Like, your job is to score points. It's my job to stop it. Keep the foot to the accelerator. Keep trying to play ball.
I agree 1,000%. That's like Steve Spurrier back in the day when I was playing for the Gators. You go and play for him because you want the opportunity to throw the ball. So when you get in the game late, you're not handing it off. We were beating Central Michigan by 80-something points. He was still letting us throw the football. It's the defense's job to stop it.
Quickly to the tight end. The offense uses a timeout, 20 ticks remaining.
That's a great example of the defense there tackling the catch. As soon as the big fella caught the ball, down he went, not picking up the first.
And the Horned Frogs come to the line on third and short, trying to convert here. Off the RPO, fire right, trying to convert. He's out of bounds, but not before picking up enough for the first down.
And at some point for the defense, I'm just thinking, hey, man, like, it's got to be somebody else. I mean, the big tight end has made play after play after play today. And we know if it gets close in the fourth quarter, they're going to look his way, so the defense really needs to have a plan.
Off the play fake on first down to throw. Working that left side. And he takes it all the way down to the 10-yard line. An explosive play for this offense. Timeout called by the offense, a mere 10 seconds to go in the game. The Horned Frogs have it with a 1st and 10.
Charcoal!
Holds and fires complete to the right. And they're going to put another one into the end zone as they just keep piling points on the scoreboard.
Someone say run out the clock. Someone say I don't need to add points. But here's the thing. It's your job to stop them on defense. Now, listen, the handshakes, they might get a little bit interesting after this game, but the offense did their job.
What kind of field position can he help them with on the return? Didn't find any crease in that kickoff coverage, and he'll be stopped at the 17. After this play, the cake will be baked. Looking to throw on first down. Hit as he throws. And that pass will be incomplete, and time has run out on this game.